welcome to Chandler in Focus. I'm Councilmember René Lopez, and today we're going to be talking about the 2017 LIBCON. Today my guests are Chris McGinley, who is a library assistant and this year's LIBCON coordinator, and Claire Murphy, who is an artist and a LIBCON vendor. So welcome. Thanks both for joining me. So first, let's talk a little bit about your background. Chris, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I'm Chris, and I work at the Chandler Public Library at the downtown branch. I predominantly work with the teens, so I do teen programming, teen volunteering, and I give pretty good book recommendations too.
Good. Claire?
Well, I'm Claire, and I've been going to LIBCON for about 3 years now, and I've sold my art at LIBCON every time, and it's super fun. I love it every year. So, yeah.
Good. Well, thank you. Chris, give us a little bit of background on the LIBCON, some of the history and how it's come about, and your involvement over this last period.
Yeah, so this is our 7th year doing LIBCON, and basically it came out of a way of wanting to get teens involved in the community so that they could share about their fandoms and their hobbies. We're really excited this year. We have a lot of great stuff planned, and we really hope it's a success.
Okay. So some of that background, my understanding is you've gone to a couple of conventions before?
For sure.
So getting some ideas from there, or how has that evolved with this LIBCON?
So we definitely try to emulate the big Comic Cons, but we also want to pay tribute to the library. So we make sure there's more of a literature focus. That being said, we still have the manga, the video games, the anime. So we try to incorporate everything.
Okay. And Claire, my understanding is you've gone to a couple of cons also?
Yes, I have. I've gone to Phoenix Comic-Con a lot of years, and even gone to the San Diego Comic-Con, which has been fun.
Okay. How many times have you gone to the San Diego Comic-Con?
Last year was my first year, so hopefully I'll be able to go again this year.
Wow, yeah, ticket sales are intense.
Crazy.
So, all right, so planning the event, Chris, and coordination, I know it takes a lot. Last year, it seems to be growing every year, the 7th year here. I've gone a couple of times, actually, since I first learned about it a couple years ago when I was on council, and it's been growing since. A lot of involvement from not just the attendees, and those that help put on the panels, but the staff. So give me a little background how the planning goes about on that.
Yes, so basically planning starts the day after LIBCON ends, right? So we'll get together all the librarians, library assistants. We'll even bring in some volunteers and teenagers to give us feedback on how great the program was, how we can sort of improve for next year. One of the key things that we need to focus on, I think, is staying up with the trends. So getting that feedback is crucial to having a successful LIBCON.
Changes every year. You never know what's going to be the latest and greatest the kids are going to love. And Claire, about you and as a vendor, what do you do in preparations for the LIBCON?
Well, I mostly try to bring new stuff to the table. Like this year, I brought in keychains, which I made, and I make sure to restock on all the stuff that I'm sure will be a huge hit. And yeah, I try to think of what new series might be good to sell, what people will like, and yeah.
All right, good. So my understanding, again, this event allows teens to express themselves. So seeing a lot of them dressed as cosplay, seeing you dressed, we were talking earlier, you dressed up in Attack on Titan outfit, and a lot of teens do come, but they don't have to. But I think it does help encourage the creativity amongst them. And you also mentioned the literacy aspect. As I mentioned before, I got involved in comic books when I was younger. I was not a reader by any means, and I think comic books actually helped improve my vocabulary. Anecdotally, it's interesting. If you go read some of the older comic books, they're actually almost Shakespeare-esque because of the big words they use and the in-depth. So in the LIBCON, what are we doing to expose some of these kids to these comic books and also bring the literacy aspect out more?
That's a great question. So yeah, we're really focused on literacy, especially because we're with the library. We have panels that are centered around books. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, we have a Harry Potter panel. Comic books, we have comic book panels. And we even try to cater to the manga. You know, that's something that's sort of new and uprising in today's culture. So we make sure that we have a wide variety of literature to appeal to all the different teens' interests.
Good. Yeah, there's again a broad array. There's a lot of niche areas, but like you mentioned, covering manga in general, it's good to bring all of them in. So as part of that, my understanding is we've got an artist coming in,
Yes.
Tom Levine.
Yes, author Tom Levine. We are super excited. So a little bit about Tom. He is a nationally published author. He has a new book coming out. But I think the coolest aspect of Tom is he is actually a comic book author as well. He's helped written some of the Spawn comic books. So it's going to be great to have Tom there. He's going to be able to talk to the teens about, you know, how he got started as an author, and he can also give that perspective of what it's like to actually write for a comic book.
Good. Really neat. I'll have to look him up some more and see what comics he was involved in and go buy them. I did look and see some of the novels he has. Very, very good storylines.
For sure.
It'll be an interesting panel. So last year, I don't know if you knew, I was there and I actually helped co-host the zombie panel. And we talked about some of the books and the zombie culture in general. And but this year, I know we're mixing it up a little more. What new or what differences can the attendees expect this year, Chris?
So I'm super hyped about a couple new panels we have this year. One of the panels is the history of the RPG. And if you're unfamiliar...
Really?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So if you're unfamiliar, if the audience is unfamiliar with what RPG stands for, it's role-playing game. And so we might go from, you know, the original role-playing games like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger to the evolution where it is now with your World of Warcrafts and your Skyrim. So we're really excited about that panel. We also have a creepypasta panel. And what creepypasta is, if you're unfamiliar, basically they're internet horror stories, right? So we'll get around the digital fire per se and have a couple of scary talks together.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to start looking online for the panels and see where my kids are going to want them going.
For
both
sure.
My kids have been going for the last couple of years too. So
cool.
And then Claire, on your side, some of the preparation and getting ready for the LIBCON, what do you do, not just, again, getting your inventory together, but where also does your creativity come? What are you looking forward to this year?
Well, another thing that I'm also looking forward to this year is I'm going to be also hosting a panel as well. Okay. I'm going to be doing the anime dating game. So basically, it's a...
You're going to have to explain that one.
So you have one bachelor behind a... basically kind of like a clothes store, but and then you have 3 mystery guests, and the bachelor is able to ask some questions and then give their answer, and at the end, the bachelor chooses which contestant he liked the best. And so I'm gonna have little fake roses for the person to give the winner, and
based on anime characters?
Yeah, like I'd suggest like dressing up and playing in character to make it fun, but like you don't have to dress up if you don't want to. You can just come and have a good time. So, yeah.
And like I said, I mean, the cosplaying, integral part. You know, going to the cons, the Phoenix Con, San Diego Con. I mean, cosplay is a really, really big aspect of it. However, you don't have to dress up, but we do encourage it because it does make it funner, not just for the other attendees, but for the person that comes in cosplay. It takes a lot of planning. So, as part of that, Chris, do we have any other cosplay activities planned for the attendees?
For sure, yeah. So we have a cosplay fashion show to cap off the event, and that's super fun. It gives all the teens an opportunity to come and show the costumes that they work so hard on, and that's like a big part of Comic-Con, of LIBCON, right? Is being able to show the community all this hard work you put into your fandom.
And it takes a lot of involvement. Claire, the uniform you put together, it doesn't get to put together overnight. And going to the conventions, Claire, what is one of the best or one of the most memorable cosplayers that you can remember?
Well, I've seen tons of amazing cosplays, people who build these huge armor sets, and you can tell it's taken months and months for them to make. So I'd have to say one of those. I know at San Diego Comic-Con, there was these 2 people who dressed up as characters from a video game called Overwatch, and the costumes were like phenomenal. It looked like they hopped right out of the game. So
it's amazing. Some of the, I mean, even your costume, I'd say that.
Thank you.
A lot of them, they're so accurate that they could literally come. They may have just come right off of a stage to come visit the con. It's amazing. Even some of the again, yours and some of the teenagers that do come to the convention at the LIBCON, I've seen. Again, a lot of thought and a lot of work into it. It's great.
And it's a lot of fun to be able to show the shows that you like and the characters that you love, and be able to have a day where you just get to pretend to be them. So.
And so this year, are we going to have also some panels to help some of the teens work towards cosplay? Are we going to have any panels like that?
Yeah, we're definitely going to have workshops that have to do with cosplay, people going how they made their costumes, what sort of tips they can do to making sure when you make your cosplay, everything is safe and con worthy, right? So you can't bring an actual weapon to LibCon, but you can bring a fake weapon, right? So just all those different types of things that make it safe and fun for everyone.
And yourself, Claire, what recommendations would you have for other people, or advice you'd have for other people that would like to make their first venture into cosplay?
I would suggest getting inspiration online and looking up tutorials. Those are always super helpful, trying to figure out what material is good versus what material will fall apart in the Arizona heat. So definitely venture on the internet and find a costume that you like and just go for it.
So in combination with just the literacy and the cosplaying, some of the panels, what else are we having there for the teenagers to occupy their day?
So we have a really cool room that's completely full of all different types of video games. So if you're a gamer, maybe you're not so much into the literature, the anime, the manga, you can come hang out with your gamer friends and play some video games. We'll also have designated hangout rooms. So maybe if you're not feeling a panel or you just want to take a break from it, you can go hang out with your friends in a supervised, safe environment.
Great. And so this year, when and where are we going to be having?
So this year it's going to be April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Boys and Girls Club Compadre branch. That's located just east of downtown Chandler, right off of Delaware Road.
Yeah. We've worked a lot with the Boys and Girls Compadre branch. What other activities and programs have we been working with between the library and the Boys and Girls Club this last couple of years?
Yeah, so the Boys and Girls Club is a great partner with the library. That's something that we as librarians have been trying to do, is to go out and create partnerships within the community. They've brought teens to some of our programs and vice versa. So it's really nice to partner with a community member, especially a great one like the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, they do a lot to help our community, and especially, again, those boys and girls that are in need. It's
For sure.
A great service. If somebody wants to register for the LibCon, where do they go, Chris?
That's a great question. So we're going to try something different this year. You actually don't have to register. It's going to be a drop-in program. The only limitation is you have to be between the ages of 12 and 18. You can go to chandlerlibrary.org/libcon for more information, or you can go to facebook.com/libcon. We got one of those early names. We actually have the LibCon name on Facebook since we're one of the earliest.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I
amazing.
didn't know that. So I'll give you a little tidbit. I went to a Comic-Con over in New York, and one of the panels they had there was, getting LibCon started in your community. So they had some library directors and managers that came and spoke about what they were doing and where they were at. And I'll tell you right now that the LibCon for the Chandler Library has put on for the 7 years, it outshines them. I mean, it's the level of a San Diego Con compared to the other LibCons. You guys are doing a great job over there, bringing a lot of teens in. Are we capped at any number? Is it come as you want, first come, first serve, or how is that working out for those?
Yeah, so as far as the food and the activities go, we'll cap it at the building limit, but we don't anticipate being more than what the facility can handle.
Okay. Are you sure? We got a lot going on this year.
We'll have to see. Maybe we'll make a waiting line.
Yeah, we're used to waiting at the cons.
Yeah, true.
So we only have a few minutes left. So Chris, anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you for having us on the show. We're really excited about this year's LibCon. As always, you can stop in at your local library and say what's up. We have tons of programs for teens. You can get your volunteer hours there. So thank you.
Volunteer hours help a lot, especially again in the teenage. Not just high schoolers, junior high. It's good to start banking those volunteer hours now. Help the community in the process.
Exactly.
Claire, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, thank you for having me on too. Make sure to come and say hi to me at LibCon, and then if you can't be there and you want to see some of my stuff, you can go on. I have an Etsy. It's called NICU Shop, or you could see some more of my cosplays and art on my Instagram, which is NICU Cosplay. Thank you.
Good, outstanding. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. And thank you for watching Chandler in Focus, and we're discussing the 2017 LibCon. I'm Chandler Councilmember René Lopez, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.